Little Sages of Happiness. What differentiates adults from children is that children are not ashamed because they haven't lost their innocence yet. Childhood is one of the most precious gifts of life, and as we grow up, we forget how beautiful it is not to have other responsibilities than being careful so that our little toy car doesn't break, or changing our doll's little clothes. Growing up makes us lose not only our innocence, but also our ability to be amused by anything, any object that shines or makes a funny noise, to wonder at our discoveries. Childhood is being able to feel amazed, because during that period, our lives are clean and just starting to be written in white sheets of paper. Laughing, playing, singing, doing mischief as if we were children again is what we adults need if we want to recover our desire to live, which many times adversity takes away from us. This morning, my wife and I asked ourselves a question. If we could sum up our experiences on a piece of paper, what would we teach our children? And we realized that we hadn't given it much thought. We raise our children as we go. We learn from what we teach them, so I decided to put it in writing. I would teach them the first thing I learned, to develop a relationship with God and trust His will. No explanations asked, because the secret things belong to Him. When things go wrong, we must not blame Him or be angry. That's life. It's full of difficulties. Not to ask God to keep bad things from happening to them, since they are inevitable and a part of life, that they had better ask for strength to face the hard times. He gave us the ability to come out of every situation, even those we believe will finish us. That death is a part of life, and how important it is to accept this, so that they don't die inside when they lose someone they love. That wrath and anger consume us, just as revenge, pride, and resentment. To try and nip feelings of envy in the bud, because if left unchecked, they grow like weed in our hearts. To invest their time first in being and then start doing. If we are persons of quality, we will do great things that are hard to destroy. That love is the greatest force in the universe. And if they want to achieve any goal, they must cling to that inexhaustible resource life gives us since we are born. To plant trees, to value life and cherish it, our own as well as others, respecting nature and all the living beings that are part of it. To sow in order to yield a harvest, and to be consistent in their sowing, or else their harvest will be depleted. That life is like a weighing scale that keeps balance by distributing its weight, and therefore everything we do will come back to us, the good and the bad. To identify arrogance and strive for humility, I believe therein lies wisdom. If they are dazzled by success, they can get dizzy, lose their balance, and will likely fall. To be more grateful, to say please, to feel remorse and say sorry when they're wrong, because that will make them bigger human beings. To value even more what we can't buy with money, since the most important things in life are priceless. To undertake and persevere and never stand still, imagining how it would be to make a dream come true. They should get up, go for it, and conquer it. Not to be conformists, nor give way to their unbridged ambitions. The healthiest definition of success is finding gratitude in every achievement and to always look for excellence and not perfection. Otherwise, we'd waste our most precious time and we'd never get the results we expected. Not to be afraid of failures, as they are the foundation of the soundest success. To escape mediocrity because it's highly contagious, and the only vaccine is our attitude. Not to judge others. If everybody judged, humankind would be condemned. They shouldn't learn from adults to have discriminating attitudes against people who only seem different from us. To put themselves in someone else's place, because that's the only way we can see beyond what our eyes observe. To cultivate friendships in every corner. Relationships are very important to accomplish great goals. They'll get there faster on their own, but they'll make it further if accompanied. That as long as there's life, everything has a solution. not to be defeated and give in to problems, as they are all temporary and depend directly on something as fleeting as time. As in the story of the king's ring, this too shall pass. To love and respect their parents, but never fear them. To love their siblings and to forge an unbreakable tie with them. Not to waste time, because it will run out, even faster than what we can understand. To respect others and earn their respect. To assert their rights, but always after they have fulfilled their obligations. That they should first build a career that makes them happy and allows them to share time with their children and the people they love, and only then sharpen their wits to yield the greatest profit from that career. Money can be earned in 1,000 ways, but the time and happiness of the moments shared with the family are priceless. To have good judgment and common sense, so that in the short term they can identify their mistakes and avoid making them again, like many times I must admit I didn't do. But while I think about everything I teach them, I should also reflect on everything they teach us with their actions. Because many times we think that only we adults can teach, and we don't realize how much we could learn from children if only we paid more attention to them. I wish we could be less judgmental of those who dare to be like children. I wish we all dared. Life slips away from our hands while we think and feel like grown-ups, hiding behind far-fetched reasons that can justify our actions as adults. The same reasons that makes us gradually forget why we had so many friends when we were little. Being and acting like children, even for a moment every day, should be commitment for adults, like exercising, working, or socializing. Children remind us where we come from, and they have a lot to teach us because they are sages of happiness. Certainly, there are a lot of good things we can teach them. No one has the absolute truth, and I'm not the best example. But what I wrote is what I would teach them. I may not have lived so many years, although many people say they represent half a life. I learned to be a son, a brother, a husband, and a father. I saw 3 children be born, and I also saw one of them die. But as long as I live, I'll continue to seek learning. And if God gives me 80 years of life, I promise I'll write more about what I learned.